For those of us who can't join, the session obviously is recorded. Hey, good morning. Good evening, or wherever you are. So it's good. So we'll be looking at Moonshot 2 coins today because we need to be sure around where they are. And some of you are holding some of these coins, and they will move fairly quickly. Also, we will be looking to change some of the how we're going to deal with the Moonshot 2 coins. But before we get into that, I thought I'll review where we are in terms of the overall cycle. We have obviously seen this chart many times, and we are still in the second arrow, by the way. So each arrow, black arrow here, represents 2 months. Yeah. So we are almost 4 months post halving, which was in the May 2020. And normally this is the time where we can see things start moving up. So that's why I call it the season of buying, not the season of selling. So that was one of the key things that I decided not to get out. And I could not see this coming, if you ask me. When I think about it, well, the upside is much more than the downside. That's the season we are in. Unlike in the second third of this box here, then it's a different story. But right now we are early in the in the bull cycle, so there's no point getting out while it feels painful. But the volatility that you feel, yeah, it's just going to get worse. But we are early in the stage, so we still got 16 months to go. So that's where we are. Now this chart, I'm going to put it in because just to share with you, one of the guys that I used to learn many years ago, and he said basically if you know how to master price and time, that's pretty much it. I think that's quite obvious. So if you look at the chart before, this is from a timing point of view, right? So we got 16 months to go roughly. But due to Satish chart, I think a few days ago, I thought it's not a bad idea to use altcoin market cap to indicate where we are roughly to represent altcoins and not to use Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin, we use it for timing over here. But I thought we could use the altcoin market cap to sort of help us gauge roughly where we are in the entire life cycle, the bull cycle here. So this is still new. This is not absolutely confirmed. Basically, what I'm trying to do is I look at the 2016 and 17 cycle, the bull cycle. This was the altcoin bull cycle going up. And I roughly know where the slingshot, moonshot 1, 2, and 3 is. Now, let me just caution you guys who use altcoin market cap, and it is important to know what kind of chart you're dealing with now. Altcoin market cap is, remember, just a sum of all the altcoins, right, in terms of their market cap. So if you think about it, it doesn't quite make sense to sum up all these coins. Well, why is that? Now, imagine I give you a bunch of fruits, right? And you can count the fruits in terms of its value, dollar value. But when you jumble up the fruits together, it's kind of a mixture that doesn't make sense. The same over here, if you're jumbling up a bunch of altcoins that are in different market structure position, you are not supposed to use it to make any major decisions. For me, that is important to note. It's very similar to like NASDAQ or Dow Jones Index, where those index comprises of composition of different stocks, and in this case, altcoin comprises of many different types of all the types of altcoins. So in other words, what I'm saying is you're not supposed to do 3 push on this kind of index because it doesn't make sense from from the collective coins. But I'm using it more of an gauge around where we are roughly. And I was basically looking at slingshot phase. I think we pretty much is almost done with slingshot phase. If you look at most of the coins, they have either completed or they've moved out of slingshots and into moonshot one. So that's basically where we are at. And as most of the coins are starting to move up, you start to complete these phases as we go along. Now, Teddy was referring just now around some of the dates here, April of 2017 equivalent. Now, I'm not sure exactly. I'm still working on this. It could be another date, but at this point, I just thought to give you an idea that I'm working through to give us a better feel around from a price point of view, where are we? And from a time point of view, we have the BTC to guide us. But from a phase point of view, we have the market cap to guide us. Does it make sense? Let's see if you guys have any questions. Just looking at the chat. Doesn't most of the coins follow what BTC does? Well, if you ask me, if you look at, most of the coins, I'm not sure most of the coins. For me, I do treat coins individually. I do not would like to generalize things because each coin has their own timing, has their own life cycle. So that is why I don't like the idea of correlation. It's a fairly a weak idea to try to make these decisions based on correlation. So I would prefer to look at specific coins. But that's why over here, I'm just using it to gauge roughly where we are from a larger holistic point of view, and that would be nice to know. Okay, so let's move on. So we are fairly early, I guess. Going back to this, what I'm saying is, we are fairly early in the stage here where the upside is huge. So just take note of that, and that is why we got plenty of time here to position ourselves. Well, maybe not plenty of time, knowing that we are almost done. If not, we are done with the slingshot phase here. The next move up, I don't know if this is true, right? Then it's going to be fairly aggressive. Now, if you guys look at Moonshot 1, that's true, but Moonshot 2 is even more aggressive as we move up. So we should expect some more aggressive price movement coming in. So as such, we look at the Moonshot 2's coin today, which we want to make sure that all of us here understand the behavior, and this is the education that we provide, to all the investors. That the reason why we are doing all this is to equip you with the understanding, right, of where we are and how, if you're going to read the charts and make decisions, you are clear, right? So what do we want to achieve? I want you to know where the safe exit is for most of these Moonshot 2 coins, and what are the potential upside that we are seeing, and how do they behave. For me, this is even more important, right, besides just the price, but the behavior becomes important from a pattern 2.1, 2.2 point of view. And with that understanding, how should you be allocating your portfolio. So those are the 4 coins you'll be looking at. I don't know if there's other coins that have enough data that is in the Moonshot 2 category. Some of those coins that are new, it may or may not be in Moonshot 2, but we don't have any references, so we will not be dealing with them. Okay. So there you go. This would be the updated chart. So in my view, Link is definitely looking up to push into Moonshot 2 completion. And so the rest are here as well. So that's the chart. So we'll be covering this for any questions so far on what we are covering? Any comments, question? Yeah, okay. Let's move on. Now, before we go on, I just thought I'll review some of our 2017 Moonshot 2, and just to give you a sense, I think we have done this before the last time in maybe in the resistance. Yeah, we have done it in resistance method. We have done it in some of the coin, like the Neos, what you call the Neos deep dive. You know, we have done it somewhere, but it's, you know, it's useful to remind us how the Moonshot 2, how fast is the Moonshot 2 is. So, so for example, Neo Moonshot 2, you know, that would be the Moonshot 1. I thought if I just pick a, you know, this candle here that forms the lowest low and go up to the safe exit, that would be a good standard way to measure. And it's pretty crazy, right? If you look at it, it's just 6x. This is like 6x here in just 22 days. It's pretty ridiculous for some of these moonshot, which means there's an 8 times your money in a month. The Neo is just ridiculous. For example, now Ethereum was slower depending on where you enter, but again, if I pick the lowest point here as the correction and goes all the way up to the safe exit, it takes about 63 days for Ethereum, roughly about 2 months. You know, 4x, that's about 2. Still a good performance here. Anything that is 2 and above of Octane, you know, it's considered good. Some coins are just doing really well. Digibyte in 2017, post Moonshot 1, it takes about 18 bars, 18 days to go up 10x. That's just ridiculous amount of Octane. So basically, just wanted to give you a sense where Moonshot 2's Octane are just ridiculous, ridiculously high. So and that's why we are really interested in Moonshot 2's coins. Okay, so we look at today's current Moonshot 2 coin. So we'll look at Link first. Obviously, we have done Link's deep dive, but let's review Link's position again. Obviously, Len, AAVE, Theta, and Aragon. Okay. This is back in June, somewhere around there, I believe. So we have done a deep dive, and this is just a page that came from it. At the time, it just moved up into $6, and we haven't seen the progress, you know. And so, you know, we did say it was 22 to 36 around there for Moonshot 2 projection. And we also say that there will be a lot of ranging days, you know, after Moonshot 2 is completed, and that's still, you know, that's still in principle at play, and then it should go up somewhere around, you know, 220 to 360. The challenge with ChainLink is because when it completed its Moonshot 1, it took almost a year to consolidate around you know, the Moonshot 1 before it takes up to Moonshot 2, and as such, the amount of uncertainty, or this window here of opportunity, it creates a big gap in terms of the exit. So that's why you see such a huge gap. You know, 22 to 36, that's a big, you say, wow, that's a big window, right? And that is because the median as well as the max here is big, right? Because of that big window, it creates a much more bigger uncertainty. And which you see later on where the butterfly comes in to help us triangulate where the price is. But this hasn't changed yet. So if you look at the latest price action, so we've got these two, you know, pattern 2.2, 2.1 to actually, you know, based on the latest price action here, to say that, hey, you know, we are going to eventually land around here, 26 to 44. So that would be, you know, a much more again, the wider, you know, again, this should be the same, but let's have a look around where the butterfly tells us. But I also want to say that the last move over here from pattern 2.2 into moonshot to completion, right, from $12 around here to maybe $40. Let's just give Link the benefit of the doubt that you hit 40. Let's just say, right? It's still it's 3.3x, right? So that would be 3.3x. In maybe if we just say okay, 1.5 months maybe, right? Just to give again Link the benefit of the doubt, it will do 2.2, so which is not bad, right? So maybe that's fairly reasonable in 1.5 months maybe. We'll see, maybe 2 months, right? If it's 2 months, then this would drop slightly. But remember, Link is the fastest we have currently. So that's why it can't move too fast. But it also suggests one thing, that the ranging days will be, most likely be really, really long. So we look at the microstructures. Again, if you recall the last session, I covered the microstructures using, what was termed as the butterfly, where it's a symmetrical reflection of the price here. I actually like $34.50 as the final moonshot to target, compared to the safe exit of 26 to 40 here. Butterfly is saying $34.50. Okay, so that would be a good price for me to actually exit. And if you look at how Ethereum did the last time, it's the same thing. So that's why I'm so I find the butterfly in the moonshot 2 extremely useful, right, in trying to determine where a good exit is. So in Ethereum, for example, pattern 2.2. Reflection up, would give you an indication of where a good exit is. So that's how I see, ChainLink going up to 34.5, not just around 20 something, because of the stronger push here. This $34 is fairly realistic. So that's my view. A broader view, I think this is important to note for those of you who, why is it that you need to make sure you get out at that 34.50? Is because this, you see the ranging days, it's definitely coming. Now, most of you would know, if you are in the Twitter land, you would know there's a lot of what you call the green frogs. Yeah, any green frogs here? Anyone here that a Link junkie? There are a lot of them, isn't it? That are extremely bullish on ChainLink, and I love them as well. They are really funny, great memes, but they will have to be shaken out eventually, right? So this is where I see moonshot to completion. They will be shaken out. Again, there's only two ways. One is volatility. The other one is time. All right. So most likely that's where people will get shaken out. So we will get out at 34.50. And because after that, I do expect a serious correction coming back down. Now, if you look at Ethereum, it was a serious correction on the moonshot too, right? Moonshot 2, well, if you look at the price, right, it came down from, let's have a look at some price here. See if we can find Ether. There you go. We've got Ethereum here. So that correction of Ethereum is 65%, right? So this is a massive correction here. And a lot of the linkers, ChainLink people will be surprised. Will probably be caught in the FUD where it crashed down. Let me just go back into my slide. So this will be a serious correction. Now I don't know how far it's going to come back down, right? But If you ask me, it's definitely coming back down into the $20 category or level. So imagine going up to $34, maybe even to $40, right? Maybe even to $40, and then crashing back down to $20, yeah, or more. That's gonna shake a lot of people out. Now, if it's crashing down to $20, well, you know, what else does it work on? Does the market use? It will use time. It will range for a long time before it push up. So again, it can, uh, yeah, it can vary a little bit about the timing and the price, which I've seen before, but definitely there'll be ranging days to come on Link. So in summary, yeah, if you're in there, make sure you get out at 34.50 and then move on to another coin. Is that okay for Link? Is it clear? Yeah. All right. Now, if you look at it, did I skip Link's Octane? Did I put Link's Octane somewhere? Yeah, Link's Octane. Did I cover it? 22 to, yeah, 2.2. Okay. So it's not fantastic, right? But it's, you know, we know Link is going to do its job. Len. So Len, originally we projected the moonshot to be there because we estimated the slingshot in a much more aggressive way. But looking at the less aggressive way, you know, now we have used this as our moonshot one. Now, even with that as a moonshot one, it has a safe exit of about $10. So that $10 remain for Len. It hasn't changed. But then that projects up into $120, which is quite amazing, isn't it? For Len to be able to go that high. So that's where the model is projecting. So Len should be a very strong coin. So if you look at it, it obviously came out from its moonshot one, right, and did its pattern. So when it was up there, and this is where I wasn't sure where it was. Well, when it was up there, I'm like, you know, where is Len currently? So when it corrected, then when I look over to ChainLink, I just saw, there you go. It's exactly, you know, 2.1. And that's where Len is. So is it going down? Well, unlikely. It's, you know, this is the pattern for 2.1. And then it will shoot up fairly aggressively towards the 2.2, which you have seen just now. And along the side, you know, there are some indicators here or flags, you know, to guide us through. So if this move from 50 cents goes up to you know, somewhere around here to finish off 2.2, I can estimate that the octane is pretty darn high, right? About 5 from where we are now. So watch out, right? So watch out what Len can do. So that is why you know, you need to be in position over here. Now the other thing is I'm now charting a much more granular pattern here besides just 2.1. I'm looking at 2.1.1, 2.1.2, 2.1.3. Okay, so all right. I think we have a questions. Yes, do we have? Anyone wants to come in? Someone raised a hand. Okay. If you questions, that's all good. Just come in and ask the question. So why did I chart this? Yeah.
I have just a question. So do we focus on AAVE just to get out when it finished moonshot, or maybe 2.112? Little correction.
Yeah. Now you would know, most of you should understand the formal call is we only exit on moonshot, right? We do not exit anywhere in between. If you are exiting anywhere in between, you're doing it on your own risk, right? That has always been the position. In the end game, we always spoke about this.
Okay. Thank you.
So now, because we now know lens position after this, because of this correction, now we have an advantage, right? Now, can you catch 2.1.2? No, you can't. These are really small correction. You don't want to touch that. Okay, but 2.2 is something we can catch, right? So this becomes a possibility now. Because if you look at the ChainLink's at 2.2, that's some serious correction as well. Well, if you look at any 2.2, it is serious correction. Yes. Example, Ethereum's 2.2, the correction is itself is 40%. You know, well, the big one, right, which is the moonshot 2 correction, obviously that's even bigger. But if you even look at Chainlink's correction, where's Chainlink? Yeah, Chainlink correction. Yeah, let's look at Chainlink. Even this Chainlink's correction, right, which we, you know, it's 40%. That's fairly significant from the top, right? So you can tell it doesn't matter how strong the coin is, right? Well, Chainlink is one of the strongest coin, but still you get 40% correction. But what I guess I'm saying is for lens 2.2, we should be able to catch the top. So that's why I'm excited to that the LEN has revealed its position, and now you know, we know where to exit for 2.2. Does it answer your question, Adam? Hopefully it does.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I'm looking to exit at 2.2. Yes. So there's a question that being asked. Timeline for $10. Okay, so timeline for $10 would be the same, which is about 3 months away. End of the year would be it. Maybe 3.5 months to 4. So remember, you know, Moonshot 2, Moonshot 1, I do see them finishing off near the year end. Now this move to 2.2. Let's see how long the Chainlink did, so we can have a look. Chainlink, it did not take too long, isn't it? From the bottom to the top here, it took only 21 days, right? So we just got to watch out for LEN. You know, can it do it in 21 days? Maybe, right? But we'll see. So we should expect fairly a swift move up. We'll see. Okay, so in order to do that, we need to look at all these patterns, right? 2.1.1, 2.1.2, 2.1.3, and then boom, the last top over here. This is where we'll exit. Now, sometimes the pattern is not as clear, and this is where sometimes we might exit earlier, we might exit slightly later, but we will be exiting, right? And hopefully we will be able to catch at least a 30% correction. We'll get out and then get in at a lower price. So that's for LEN. Does it make sense for everyone on LEN's position? Okay. So yeah, lens in general. Oh, do I have the octane here? I probably did not do the octane for lens. But yeah, this 5 is just for pattern 2.2, right? Just for pattern 2.2, not the entire moonshot moonshot 2. Well, let's do for moonshot 2, right? So let's do it. Maybe this, I'll just do it for lens octane 2, right? Moonshot 2 octane. So from, let's just say, you know, from now all the way to $10, that's what, 56 cents. Okay, so let's get my calculator up. 56 cents, right? $10, right? $10 divided by 56 cents. That's a lot of X, isn't it? That's crazy. Now, assuming that it does it in what you call in 4 months, right? It's still 4.4, right? So 4.4, it's a really conservative number. Excuse me. So it's close to 5. So it's still fantastic. So Len, definitely a very strong candidate over here. So let's move on. Theta. All right, so this would be one of the coins. Now I know that it doesn't quite fit into our model due to the pattern, but it's moonshot too. It's got data going back into I think it's got data going back into January 2018. It's got a much bigger correction here, which makes the exit to be a bit harder as well. So that is why it's kind of harder to decide. But I guess if there's a butterfly coming up on top there, it will help us decide. So octane is roughly, you know, if it does 5x from here, which is from 41 cents to about $2, you know, again, I'm just using $2 benefit of the doubt. If you can do it in a couple of months, wow, I give it 2 months. Pretty generous, isn't it? Let's just say it does it in 2 months, it'll do 2.5. If it does it in 3, you know, it will, it's even lower. So that's why not entirely too exciting for me, Theta, partly because it's got a bigger window here, and you know, it's got to do it in 2 months. So we'll see how Theta do. But I guess the good thing is it's not too far away. You know, the $2, it's just 5x away. Unlike a Len, right? If you look at Len, it's $10, like a lot of magnitude away. So we'll see. Yeah. So that's Theta. Some of you holding Theta. Yeah, so that's the microstructure is over here. I compare it with Ether. You know, Ether is basically probably similar position back in 2017. Zigzag down, Moonpad 2 comes back up, and this is almost like a countdown. So it's hard to tell Theta, you know, how far is it going to come back down, maybe, you know, again, but there's limited amount of downside. But the upside will be interesting to see. So yeah, basically that's Theta in terms of its structure. Aragon would be the last one, right? So ant projection on Moonshot 2, it's $80. That's again the safe exit. Aggressive got 120, so a nice window there. And from where it is, yeah, it's a nice rotation as well. Assuming that it finish it within 3 months, you know, it has about 16x away. Yeah, 16x away to get to 80. $5 to 80. Yeah, that's roughly about 16x. So about 4 to 5 maybe. So quite a nice octane if it does that in the next 3 months. So $500. That's pretty serious money up there on this moonshot too. But of course, it's starting with right now $5 over here. So that's ANT's position. Right now, you know, that's the correction over here. I use Ethereum, isn't it? I think there's a better use. Maybe Aragon, I should have used, for example, ChainLink. Yeah, maybe ChainLink is a better one. Let's just get into ChainLink and see if I got a link here. Yep, here's a link at the daily. Let's see if I can get what else. I'm looking at ends, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so let's go into 4 hours, just a little bit more granularity and link. Okay. So link for me is probably closer. Wow, it keep dropping over here. So if you look at this pattern between the two, that's why I chose link to be closer because of this. The zigzag is there. Let's just run this through. So zigzag is there. So that's the usual zigzag, right? It's got a much bigger this middle point over here. This is way smaller because this box here, right? So whereas a ChainLink has the entire few months to actually do it before it actually finish off his last move here, a shakedown, right? So this over here would be the last pattern here. So that's my view on this. It's probably closer to ChainLink. This, this double top here. We'll see how it defends over here. Most likely it will. If it breaks down, that will be interesting. But if we take this as the moonshot one, this would be fairly a close pattern over here between both of them. So that's my view on ant. Again, ant is position. If you look at the entire what you call the structure, yeah, so it is much more comparable against ChainLink, except that ChainLink has much more time to do, almost a year to actually complete this. Okay, so yeah, maybe I should change this photo instead of Ethereum. I should put closer to ChainLink. And in summary, yeah, so do I have, yeah, I do have an octane over here. So yeah, in summary, this AAVE and AND should have fairly high octane. I think the assessment based on the 3 months until the new year, not new year, but Christmas, would, it seems like it's pretty high compared to Theta and Link. But Link would be closer to finishing off, obviously, to Moonshot 2. So basically the summary is, yeah, and AAVE, those are key coins to continue hold. It should be you should try to hold this as much as possible. And also there's a change in strategy, which we spoke about, like AAVE, and we now know where it is. We can try to catch the 2.2 top, pattern 2.2 top. And again, those of you who has the time, you can do it with me to try to catch the top. If not, again, you just ride all the way to Moonshot 2, and that's fine. But note that 2.2 it has quite a serious correction, typically 30% or more. So if you can catch the top, that would be the best. I guess eventually we need to move out of Moonshot 1 coins, right, gradually as the coin starts to move up. So going back into the list, as we start to see more and more coins coming up here, if our coins that we are currently holding is not moving up as much as fast as we can, then we have to consider moving into some of these coins over here. But at this point, most of us would have a land and have ants in position. So that's good. Some of you have Theta. That's great as well. I don't have Theta. I just bought, 0.5% of Link in my portfolio with fresh capital, just to make some money from my, instead of sitting at the bank account. So yeah, that's where it is. The rest of the coins, we just wait for them to come up, and then we'll see how we can deal with them. Okay, so in summary, that's what it is. And I have put in Yeah, going back into the list there, we have the target here. So I think that would be good information to use, to put in the moonshot 2 target over there. So that will be useful. Yeah. Let's see. Look at questions. Oh, we have quite a few on the chat. Yeah. Let's see. Just reading through the chats. You get an alert on the exit of land. Yeah, you can set your own alert if you want, but we have something called a war room, Chris, that we will have when price is near the exit. So war room is set up almost instantaneously depending on the market condition, but it will be recorded. So yeah, there will be an exit alert for sure. It's called the war room. Yeah, Stephen got more end. Oh, well done. Yeah, I think I bought more land, a little bit more the other day. Okay, RLC. Yeah, I still have my RLC. It's it's moonshot 1 completion. It should be pretty quick. Should we move that one? No, I'm not moving my RLC. The idea is we are not, you want to cast your net fairly wide. If RLC moves first, then that's great. So we don't know how fast when RLC will move, but it should be fairly quick as well because that's moonshot 1 completion. Yeah, the octane should be fairly good as well. So I still have my RLC, but if you look at your portfolio, Cyril, and see, man, that's the only place you can move. Okay, then, well, we got to move. So it depends on your portfolio, but I still have my RLC. Happy with it. On list 80 on the chart. Is that right? Did I get my, okay, I'll check ants. Did I have 70 over here. What did I put my ant on? Is that 80? Let's check. Okay. So, and it's oh yeah, it's 80, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, it's 80, not 70. So I will correct that back. I think 70 was the old price. Yeah. So this should be an 80, isn't it? Yeah. As you get closer, you'll try to use the butterfly to confirm. Remember, at this point you can put 80, but as usual, just like a ChainLink. Remember, this pattern 2.2 is critical to help us decide where to where the butterfly ends up, the other wing. So we'll use it to confirm. Okay. All right. Let's check the chats.
Jay, how about KNC at this point because it's ranging so long?
Yeah.
Should we like move some part of our portfolio into like AAVE or just hold it, keep it?
I still hold. If you remember, I told you guys I have when land came up, I had to decide where which coins should I sacrifice, right? And I did not actually go for KNC. I didn't. That is because KNC was consolidating for a long time. But it was really tough decision, right? Now, I eventually went to Digibyte. I had to sacrifice my Digibyte. I think I did sacrifice a little bit of my KNC as well. I can't remember. I think I told you guys how many percentage I sacrificed. I might have sacrificed some KNC, yeah. Let's see if I go back into my communication.
20% each.
20%, yeah?
20%
yeah,
KNC
yeah.
and 30% DGB.
Yeah, that's what there you go. So this was what I sacrificed. I took more Digibyte, took some Neo, took some Zeal, right? And then obviously 20% KNC. So I had to sacrifice all of this.
Okay, so like I did this land last time, AAVE I sacrifice also this GGB and some part of portfolio, so don't need to move more KNC, just hold to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm still holding a lot of my KNC. Like I said, I only sacrifice 20%, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's up to you. What I like is I prefer casting my net wide. Now, some of you actually have a lot of land. And for me, I like that also. There are two ways you can look at it. Either you push most of your, you only have a few coins, right? And the few coins are the Moonshot 2 coins. And some of you do prefer that way, right? It's just that you load up your land, you load up your ant, and you load up XRP, example. That's pretty good. I, on the other hand, I'm casting it wide, right? Now, the casting wide strategy is you hope that some of them would shoot up first, right? Example, if RLC shoot up first or KNC shoot up first, then I can move my money over to land later, right? Even more money to land if land is slightly slower. But I don't think land is going to be that slow. But if one of these coins, like maybe ZIL, right, or RLC move up first much faster than land, then I have opportunity to buy more land. But regardless, it now depends on luck now, whether how you want to play the game. I'm still holding on to using a lot of my coins here. Yeah. So
Hey, Jay.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Jay, would you recommend moving? I have about 15% of my portfolio in Ethereum to Link.
To Link. Let's look at Ethereum. Right. Let's look at Ethereum. Let's see if I got Ethereum somewhere here. No, Ethereum. Let's go look at Ethereum. Still loading, isn't it? Okay. Anyone remember what's the top side for Ethereum? We've never, we did calculate its octane before, isn't it? Okay. So Ethereum's, yeah, we did say something like this would be a good slingshot to use. I think that's what we use that, and that would make Ethereum's Moonshot 1 land somewhere. Land somewhere around here. So if Ethereum's Moonshot 1 is around there, right? So let's just say, right, the 3 projection would push it somewhere around here. Let's just say, right? So it's basically all-time high around there, right? 1500. So from where we are now, let's just say we use, okay, I'm just going to use round number, $300, right? 300 to 1500. That's a 5x, right? So 5x, say Ethereum did it in 3 months, year end. Okay, so 5x divided by 3. That's not an exciting octane, isn't it? It's less than 2. So that's why I don't hold Ethereum. It's probably the octane is not as exciting. At most it might be 2, unless it does something crazy. But some of you are holding it as a benchmark coin, which is good. But if you're looking for velocity, yeah, Ethereum might not be the place to look at. Does it make sense?
Yes, it does. So would you suggest going half, splitting it in half and putting half into Link?
I don't have any Ethereum at all. That's my position. But
okay,
if you feel like, hey man, I want some of my Link and my Ethereum. Okay, to Link, no, right? I mean, unless you let's go back to this, right? So if you look at the octane to help you decide, let's look at this, right? Link's final octane is only 2.2, right? AAVE and N has much higher octane, right? Potentially. So I wouldn't be putting more in Link
So I have 9 coins.
in Ethereum.
Okay, so would you suggest splitting my Ethereum between Ant and Link and bringing them both up to like 18% each in my portfolio?
Yeah, we can take it offline to be specific. I'll look at your portfolio. Would that be okay if you
Okay.
send it to me?
Sure.
And then we'll talk about it after this. Yeah, but the general principle, it would be you want to move into faster coin, right? Unless you really like a Link, and then that's fine. But in terms of velocity, right, Ant and Len is the one to go, not Link. Yeah, Link is if you like the insurance. Like me, I just bought, I don't know, $1,000, put into use. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, do send me your portfolio and then we can discuss the specifics. Because everyone's portfolio is different or slightly different, and it's always important to look holistically at your portfolio before we decide.
Hey, I have a question. It's similar to that. Could I ask you at this point?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm having you look at the portfolio too, but I wanted to just ask if I had an Ethereum as a benchmark coin, but I really am new to this, and
Yeah.
I just obviously just joined, and now I'm looking at this as something that I don't care if it's a benchmark coin or not. I'm not attached to that.
Right.
And then if I were to shift that into something like Neo or Digibyte, would that be a wise move, or is that something I should talk to you about just in a portfolio consult?
Yeah, we should look at your portfolio to see what else are you holding.
Okay.
But what we are saying over here in Moonshot 2 coins, you should be holding LEN and ANT.
Yes, I am.
If you have a lot of LEN and ANT, okay, then we'll look at the other coins.
I do.
Yeah.
I have a lot of Lend. Lend is my top coin, and
There you
Ant
go.
is my XRP and Ant are my second two.
Yeah. So let's have a look.
Okay.
If yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, Ragani, if you are looking at your Ethereum and so if it's not your
I did
benchmark
care
coin.
until I started with you. Saw what I could do with it.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll do a consult with you.
Yeah, it's important, and it doesn't take long to just look at your
Yes.
portfolio and then decide. Yeah, so we'd rather do that than trying to decide over here.
Okay. Thank you.
And because it's a group, try not to expose your portfolio in front of a group because there might be sensitive information. Due to privacy, we'll try not to go into specifics of your portfolio. So just bear that in mind.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Jay, I have a question.
Yeah.
I think I asked you a few times. So I'm holding big bags of OMG and SIL.
Yeah.
And
OMG and ZIL. Yeah.
less in AAVE and ANT.
Uh-huh.
Because I thought OMG and SIL will do the 5x sooner than the AAVE
Yes.
and ANT. What's your current position? What do you think about that?
Yeah. OMG did something pretty amazing. The correction was just fairly significant, isn't it? If you look at OMG.
64, yes, they 64% come back.
Yeah. So let's have a look at OMG. Let me try to pick. Yeah, let's see. Aragon. Okay. We'll open up a new one. OMG. OMG suddenly it's the structure. Okay, I might have it over here. I looked at the structure the other day. Let's see if we can find OMG. I hope I have it here. No, I don't have it. So I'll do it quickly for those of you who are in OMG. By the way, I do have some OMG, not a lot, just a small bag. Okay, let's look at OMG. Is it still loading? It's still loading. Huh. Internet must be slow, isn't it? Everyone's on the internet. Okay, there you go, OMG. What OMG now, what it did, I think wasn't advantageous to its structure, and I'll show you what I mean. So the good news is the slingshot is quite obvious, right? So it has a great slingshot, right? But because the correction, if you look at this, right? Because the correction came down significantly, it pushes the third box down. Do you guys see that? Right? Initially, I thought it's just going to be around there, and then your moonshot one target is up there. But now it pushes, and this is where education, you know, whenever I do a moonshot 3 projection, a lot of times you guys say, you know, is your moonshot 3, you know, fixed? Well, the moonshot 3 is never fixed, and this is the case where you see, right, the moonshot 3 is now pushed down into here, right, into the 50% here. You see right on the dot here. And this is normally the 50% is like one of the extreme. But what it does is it actually reduces your moonshot 1 projection. Yeah. So if you have bought up there, your moonshot 1 projection actually came down, and that would be a disadvantage. Now, now that you know this, then your decision would be okay. I think OMG just came up quite strong as well. So that's the good news. So hopefully it will come up fast enough and, you know, let it run. So let me just give you an idea. If I'm in your position of having OMG, this is what I'll do. Let's just say I'm going to move. Let's say we say, okay, we're going to move into ends. Okay, let me just take ends and contrast against OMG. Okay. Now, if you want to move into end and say, I don't want to move now, I want to move later. All right. Now, the way you can decide is hopefully OMG would have come back up and end hasn't come up, right? Example, right? Mm-hmm. The way I'm going to enter end is when it breaks here, all-time high again, right? Yeah. So that's not the all-time high, sorry. Yeah, okay, we can use all-time high again. Right, so if you see all-time high is right there. So let me just draw this. So this would be how I would do it, right? Because if it starts to break up the all-time high again, then we know it's going to fly, right? But if it's down there and, well, you know, I can still wait. Yes. So basically, Ted, for you is, I think OMG will probably come up faster, and once it comes up, right, you can look over to N and say, where's N now? Example, if you're going to go into N. Yeah. Is it still down here? If it's down here, fine. Let OMG go, right? Let OMG go. And if OMG really goes up, then that's great. But the moment you see N breaking here, going up, then you say, okay, swap over, time to move.
Sure, right? I get it. Yeah. Even and or lens, same thing. Yeah. Even,
yeah, same with lens. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can pick. Yeah, let's look at land. But and sorry, land is tougher because I'm expecting it to move fairly quickly. Right?
22 days for the
22 days.
ChainLink. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Well, let's look at this again. Sorry, let's push this up. Yeah, and then bring AAVE. Okay, the same with AAVE. You know, AAVE right now is here. It's probably going to hold. It won't crash down like down here. You're probably going to hold. But the moment you start to see creeping up here, okay.
80 cents, yeah.
Yeah, then move, right?
Sure. Okay.
So so you then give OMG a chance to come up, and if it keeps going up, that's great. And if AAVE hasn't moved, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's how I would look at it.
Thanks, Jay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. A lot of coins. Sorry guys, I just need to double check the time, and I still think we got half an hour. Okay, all good. All right, just going back to the chat and looking.
Jay,
Yeah.
I have 20% of my portfolio in VeChain. Can you give me an update of that, please?
You have 20% in VeChain, yes?
Yeah, can you have a look for me? Wow, what's happening with it?
Yeah. Again, send me just a reminder later. Now, some of you may be new or not, and if you're holding a lot of VeChain already, there's a reason why I want you to continue holding on VeChain, because I want to give, you want to give your coins VeChain. I don't care whether it's VeChain, KNC, Digibyte, or Zeal or whatever. You want to give them a chance before you say, I'm going to move now, right? Because all these coins, Digibyte, KNC, VeChain, Zeal, they have been accumulating. So you do not want to move out and then find out them exploding up. And then you're like, you miss. So you want to give them a chance to go up. So the time to swap is if, if for example, LEN goes up, and then you still look at your KNC and goes, okay, KNC hasn't done anything. Maybe it's time to swap over to LEN. So, but please drop me a note in WhatsApp, and then we'll look at your portfolio. Okay. Yeah, all right. So let me just look at the questions in the chat. Will MS2 coin need to wait for MS? Need to wait for Moonshot 1 coins to finish December. Will Moonshot 2 range longer waiting for others? Not sure, Ryan, if you want to clarify your question. Will Moonshot 2 coins need to wait for Moonshot 1 coin to finish December? Yeah, hey, Ryan.
Hi, Jay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. No, actually, what my question is that, see, like, I know land and N is actually far far in front.
Yeah.
But you did say that XRP itself, it's actually sort of like the clock. So
Yeah.
so would that be the case whereby Moonshot 2 coins, they have to wait for Moonshot 1?
Just like ChainLink, right? I mean, the reason why I'm not in ChainLink. But if you look at LEN is just behind, right? So like I said, LEN's position to finish off pattern 2.2 is quite fast, but we'll get out from pattern 2.2, right? Remember we said that.
Right.
Whereas N's position, actually N is much behind, right? N is like just going to start Moonshot 2. So still a long way to go for N. Yeah.
But your estimation of the octane itself, let's say it does wait for XRP, so your octane will actually be lower, right? If let's say it ranges for like 6 months or something like that.
That's right, but I don't think it's going to be 6 months. Again, I'm just using a standard 3 months, year end. Right. Remember, Moonshot 2 doesn't take long. They don't take long. Right? Except like Link that is way ahead. But even Link, I gave it a good 1.5 months, so I'm pretty lenient on Link. Even a 1.5 months, it will still do a 2.2. So I guess what I'm saying is Moonshot 2's, is in general fast unless you are way ahead like Link. But even Link, that's why I say the way Link is going to compensate, in my opinion, is through the ranging days, right? Link is probably going to do, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months ranging days to let the others catch up.
Right.
Yeah, makes sense. That's where it's going to compensate. Yeah. All right. So yeah, still going to land, because land we're going to try to catch the 2.2 top. That should be exciting, and then get out. Then we try to get back in.
Sure.
Okay, so
All right, thanks.
yeah,
Thank you.
all right. Okay, wood coins with less supply, millions was available. No, not really. Yeah, I have not analyzed whether the supply in millions or billions matters. Now there are a lot of concepts and ideas behind. Some of them is dealing with drips. I'm not sure if you guys heard about drips, right? Drips would be like in relation to how many zeros do you have in a coin. So it's not just supply of in millions and billions, but in terms of how many zeros do you have in your coins, that how many capability of it to go down into how many zeros matters as well. So it's quite interesting. Again, those are way too philosophical to me. The answer is no. The supply and doesn't bother me in terms of the projection. Well, so far, all these patterns has still been emerging just like it is, regardless of the supply. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe we learn more in the future. Yeah, let's move on. Moonshot 3, all coin will reach around 2.3 trillion. No, if you look at XRP, Moonshot only 2. Yeah, yeah, not too sure. Going up, different coins goes up into Moonshot 3 at different times. So some coins will be coming down, right? Some coins will be done with Moonshot 3 and then coming down, while the rest are still coming up. So not all coins will simultaneously go up into Moonshot 3. So just be mindful of that. When I put up the chart, over here, where's the chart? Yeah, this one. Just be mindful. When I say Moonshot 3 over here, it doesn't mean all the coins suddenly all moves into Moonshot 3, right? So this is a collection of all coins. Some coins would have started their bear market, right? Some coins are just shooting up to complete Moonshot 3, right? So for example, typically we'll see Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP to be one of the last ones probably. Whereas the rest. So for example, if you ask me, ChainLink would have finished Moonshot 3 much earlier and will be on the way down. While the rest is still, going up. So that's how I'm seeing for Moonshot.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay. And all right. Yes, SWTH, Salim. Thanks for reminding. SWTH. Switch over. Daily. Yeah, I think did we see this last time? Anyone here is looking at this coin as well? Switch over. I think is this an exchange or something? Anyone knows? Clarifying, is Link priority buy? No, Link is not a priority buy because it has a lower octane. So all-time high, yep, there you go. This would be yeah, so 1, 2, and 3. Even without measuring the slingshot, this would, let me see. Does it go back to, oh, it did not go back to January. So it only went back into April 18. So potentially, if there's data behind, obviously it doesn't. This is a fairly new coin compared to going back into April. But using this as an all-time high, we can still qualify this as a Moonshot 1. Even though we don't have enough data behind that. So that is because one of them is doing 60%. So yeah, Switcho is definitely something, maybe it should go on a list, isn't it? Switcho, something to look at. Thank you, Salim. All right. If you look closer at it, you probably would have done a zigzag for sure, at least twice now. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, limited downside, I would say. Yeah, looking at, you know, let's say that is the final butterfly there. Right? Let's just say that's the butterfly there, right? So yeah, coming back down here would be normally. That's one thing. If you guys haven't catch in the last presentation when I talk about the butterflies, right? If you use this as a butterfly, right, that would be the final butterfly here. If you use that, which is yeah, which qualifies it quite well. Then typically the price would come back down below this butterfly, right? You'll come back down below. So, and this is a nice extension up from it's 1.2. The 1.2 should be somewhere around here, and you know, price to come back down below this one would be expected. But this, you know, I can see this to be the end of its low here. Really, again, most coins would be facing limited downside. So looks like a great buy for Switcher. Yeah, you might put on the list. Okay, that's great. Thank you, Salim. We'll have a look. Okay, on the chat.
Was guaranteed we have like a new coins. We'll do the moonshot 2 and 3.
For new coin?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee, but if you see right now is the slingshot phase.
Yeah.
Right. If you have already done, if you're breaking all-time high, and you know, if you're like Switcher just now, you know, my view is, yeah,
They definitely do.
Yeah.
They,
yeah, most likely it's gonna do it, right?
yeah. All right.
There's a high chance it's gonna do it. Well, obviously there's always potential failure, but if the current phase is slingshot, these guys are breaking all-time high. Man, these guys are strong, right? So these coins are strong.
Okay. That's how we get it here.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. So yeah, CPE Philippines. No, yeah, Link is not a priority buy. Link is if you have pocket change, you want to buy something like me, that's okay. Put some money to good use.
Jerry, can you look at Nano?
Nano. Yeah, I'll look at Minas Neo first, then we'll look at Nano. All right. So.
Thank you, Jay.
Let's look at Neo. Neo, what did I say? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Neo's movement recently revealed itself. Now, Neo has always been a mystery in its position. So let me bring Neo up. Well, we all know how much I like Neo, but now it revealed its position. So let's bring Neo's up against Neo itself. You look at the history. I've been, yeah, I was talking to, was it Sana? Sana is not around. Yeah, I was talking to Sana about Neo. Let me go to 4 hours and somewhere in March. I think it is 17 March. Sometime in March, I think. Yeah. So when Neo was up there recently, if you guys remember, I sent out a message when it was here. I sent out a message. I said, gee, you know, Neo might drop down. And I was looking at this pattern against 2017. Once it's load, you will see. Okay, so this was it. Yeah, I can actually go down to 2 hours, 30th March. Okay, let me go down to 1 hour, 30th March. Yeah, so 30th March, roughly around there. Yeah, so I saw this 3 peaks and 2 peaks there. So let it load. Okay, there you go, it's loaded. And I wasn't sure where Neo was. Now, those of you who knows, I have been following Neo. Like Neo just kept going up. When it keeps going up, you're like, where are you now? I can't see. So I was comparing against 2017, right? And then I saw this. Then I saw this pattern. So then I saw this, you know, this three peak here against this three peak, and then there's a double peak here, right? And then that's similar to that. So this entire pattern, in my opinion, is this one over here. And I've been, those of you who knows me, I've been waiting for this for a long time. And I think now I found it. This is, so where we are currently, we are doing this, in my opinion. All right, this is the equivalent of Neo's slingshot, in my opinion. This is Neo's slingshot. So where it is doing now is the slingshot. So unfortunately, it's after the fact. You know, I did not know it's going to do this, and I wasn't sure it's going to keep going up and then do it out. So that's why
How
we
many
kept
days
holding.
you done the slingshot last time, Jay?
Yeah, it was pretty quick as well. Let's just see. So this would be 27 days.
37 days, yeah.
Yeah, about 27 days. So from the top to bottom, 27. So far, you know, it's doing, yeah, already what, 6 days, only 6 days. So might have more consolidation to come, isn't it? Potentially. Unless I'm wrong, but yeah, so we'll see. But if you look at the overall pattern for Neo, let me back up a little bit so that you can see the overall pattern. I guess that's the important question on Neo. Is Neo poised to go up? Now, in my message, you know, that's what I said. I think it is, because of these three peaks here against 2017, and that too. I don't know. It might range a little bit more. It might range going down a little bit more, but after that, you see where Neo is going. So it all makes sense because we are in the phase of transitioning into Moonshot 1, right? So we are in the slingshot phase. So most of the coins should either be finding its slingshot, or it's already out of slingshot. So that's where the phase we are, you know, moving out. So there you go. So if this is where we are in 2017, right? So on the left side, and let's go back into, right? So this is, right? So ground zero, right? This is where ground zero is. You see the spike down. I think that's the ground zero. Right? Ground zero is where, you know, prices start to move up with higher low. Yeah. See, you go to the back. Let's see if it loads. Yeah, hopefully it loads quickly. Yeah, see, that's the spike down. This is it. That's the end. That's the low, right? So for us, this is it. This is ground zero, right? So this is ground zero. And it pushes up, right? It pushes up, right? So this head and shoulder thing, this head and shoulder is down there, right? So when it starts to go up, this is where the 2017 price action is so cramped together. You can't see very well where it is. So my bet is, I think this is where the slingshot is. And if you zoom out, you'll find that it actually hits all the way to the moonshot with all-time high. But if that's the case, if I'm right, then, which I think it is, then let's zoom out. Then we are heading up, right? This is the moonshot one, right? We're heading out to the moonshot one.
So it means straight away 180?
No, straight away. It still got two bumps, Terry. Look, there's one bump here, two bumps here.
Okay.
You still got two bumps here to get to, and some small one in between. But let it load. Geez, today is really slow. I need to close some of this stuff as well. I can't close it because I need to reference. Okay, anyway, it's came back up. So this okay. Let me zoom out. Now, unfortunately, NEO doesn't have history going back further, so we can't really see its previous all-time high, unfortunately. But we know that that's the moonshot 1. Moonshot 2 is up there, and then 3 is further up. So if that's a slingshot, then I think that's where it is again, right? So if that's a slingshot, then this is what it's doing, all right? Yeah, something like that. Then it should be something like that. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for NEO. So I'm excited that I think it's going to start pushing up. If you look at the pattern, if you zoom in, it still have, so don't get too excited. It still have a one hump. This is quite a correction itself, right? It's quite a correction, 20%. Then there's another hump, 30. This is, again, close to 30, R30. This will be R30.
Yeah.
Right? So then it does the final, right? So that would be 1.2, right? That would be one. So 1.1, 1.2 done, moonshot 1. So that's what I'm expecting. There should be, 1 point, there'll be 1.1 somewhere here, 1.2 somewhere there. Yeah.
But it's very heavy coin, so better buy now.
Yeah. That's what I'm seeing now. No. Wait, hang in there. Before you guys jump into NEO, in one of the idea sharing, I asked you guys to check out ADA. Okay. Before you buy NEO, please check out ADA. Okay. That's all I'll say. Now I will do some analysis on ADA. Once I get it, I'll come back to you guys. Okay. Yes. What was the question again after NEO? Which is the coin? Remind me. What was it?
Nano.
Nano. Yes, Nano. Sorry about that. Okay, Mina, is it clear? I hope it's clear, the price structure for NEO. Mina, I'm moving on. Is that okay? If Mina is still around. Nano.
Jay?
Yeah.
I just was wondering about the timeline because I wanted to switch over to Lend, but I'm looking at what you just did, so just hold on to NEO,
Okay,
right?
great question. Oh, did I just move out of, let me use this one. Okay, great question, If you know it's gonna go up that high, where's my NEO? I need to zoom out, okay. If you know it's gonna touch all-time high, okay, I was using a conservative number like $180. Okay, $17 to 180, 10x. Yeah, Mina?
Right. Yes.
3 months, 10x. That's a good
Wow.
number, Octane?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on.
Yeah. Okay, now check ADA as well. All right, let's move on. Nano. Not as interesting, isn't it? But again, consolidation. It's down there. Okay. Not as exciting, right? I mean, we would love to. I mean, you want to be somewhere at least on the top here. There's plenty of coins above, so again, it might burst, but I don't know Nano enough to call it a good coin. Anyone here knows Nano? How good it is? I don't. NEO doesn't have drips, correct? I don't know. All coins have drips, so yeah. So yeah, Nano not too interesting. Sorry, guys. Now, I've got 5 minutes, so I wouldn't be able to go through most of you guys, but I've got to go because there's another meeting coming up in 5. Let me just stop the recording. Okay.